parties, and they're going, oh yeah, we saw you commercials, great commercials. I'm going, yeah, 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 yeah. Still don't know it. And then we start getting the #1 thing, and then like Star Magazine calls and wants to do something. I'm going, okay, we'll do something. They called us the most famous nobodies in the world, and it was the background of the girls and I. And then the commercial's running, and I'm doing modeling jobs, and my agent's calling me with, oh, someone wants you to be in their movie, and I'm going, oh, this is like bizarre, but still not getting it. One day I'm sitting at home, 1 o'clock in the morning, my phone rings, and I get a call from this guy that works with Pepsi. And no, a guy that worked with Ray Charles. And he had talked to this guy that worked at Pepsi. And Ray was doing an event for the NAACP, making some, what do you call it, fundraisers. No, for Negro College Fund. And you mind if I touch you?
Please do.
Okay, thank you.
Don't stop. Go right ahead.
Denise is cracking up. But anyway, so he calls me up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, this guy's calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning. He goes, I work for Ray Charles, and I just have to tell you, we want you to come into our office at Ray's office in downtown LA. This is big. It's big for Ray. This is huge. He goes, we just did a performance, and we announced that the Raylettes were coming out. Everybody stood up going, and he said when the Raylettes came out, people went, boo.
It wasn't them.
Because the Raylettes are they're older than us.
Yeah.
And they're not wearing the tight little Alaya dresses. They were like little muumuus. And so people were going, what happened to the young girls that they thought, the little bob wigs and the whole tight Alaya black dresses. And so anyway, we ended up meeting with Ray and his people, and they said, you guys need to organize yourself. You need to get together. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I've never had a feeling like this in my life. I believe everything happens for reasons in life. And when you're motivated to do certain things, I didn't have any control over it. I ended up lying to Darlene and Melanie, which are the other two girls. And because this guy that I had met when I was in New York doing this modeling, he wanted us to be in the movie. He convinced us, he goes, Gretchen, you gotta come to New York City. Meet our company, I'll have a PR person ready for you. I wanna manage you guys and all this stuff. So I told the girls that we had all these meetings set up. I only had meetings with him set up.
Yeah.
Well, my sister, Christina Palmer, she set up an interview with an attorney. And so I had that interview too. So I said, okay, that's 3. We're cool. So the 3 of us, we get together, and every girl has a black dress in her closet. We go and we pull our black dresses from closets. We go to Hollywood Boulevard and we buy 3 imitation wigs from like the show, because we didn't get to keep them from the commercial. And we get plane tickets. We get 1 hotel room in New York City, and we go. I'm like sick as a dog, thinking that none of this is going to work out and they're going to kill me afterwards. and I don't know where this came from, and I don't know what happened to me. We ended up meeting EMI, which is a company that makes videos. Yep. And they were going to do like a video game, like a Sega thing with the Young Girls or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Never happened. But we had this meeting with them, and then we had the meeting with working with this manager, and then we had the meeting with the PR woman. So the meetings are going okay. But the thing is, New York City, if you're a New Yorker, you're not fazed by anything. You're on a destination to walk. You don't care. You don't care who's by you. We were getting people stopping in cars going, you got the right one, baby. Doing all this stuff and going, girls, and beeping. And we were amazed. We were just blown away. So my sister, her friend, we meet him, the attorney. We all fall in love with him. So I decide to call the guy that Ray's people. They gave me a number to this guy at Pepsi. So I call him up on the phone. And I said, hi, his name is Sam Hall. That's where you got that Hall. Gretchen Hall, see? From Sam Hall, you took it from my mind.
That was before the cameras came on.
Yeah, it's a private joke. So, Sam Hall, I call him on the phone. I say, hi, this is Gretchen Palmer, one of the girls from the commercial. And I said, we'd love to come visit you down at Pepsi. And at the EMI meeting, they kept saying, well, the head guy at Pepsi is Rick Rock. You'll never be able to meet him. And I said, yeah, we'll be able to meet him. You know, I was just thinking all this. So anyway, the guy, Sam Haw, says, well, okay, well, we'll send a car for you. Sends this big stretch white limousine, and we're like going, oh my God. So we start screaming and whatnot. And we hop in the car. We thought it was like around the corner, but it was like really, really, really far. So we pull up, and it's about 4 o'clock at Pepsi, and I think they get out of work at 5. But we get out of the car, and we're just like, you know, regular. Everybody from Pepsi, and we're like going, what are they doing? Are running to their windows going, look, it's the girls, it's the girls. They're phased by us, and we're like going, what are you doing, you know? And so we just go up there, and we go to the 3rd floor, and I meet this guy, Sam Hall, that had organized the thing that Ray was singing at for the Negro College Fund. And we go and we meet him, and we meet this guy named Andrew Giangola. And he is the PR of all of Pepsi. He does everything. So he starts showering us with gifts and Pepsi things, and we're like, ah, da, 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 da. Within a few seconds, the phone rings, and Rick Rock calls down and he says, I heard the girls are here. So we go up, and I said, see, I told you we'd meet him. I told you we'd meet him. So we go upstairs, and we meet him. One of the best meetings ever because we made ourselves real. And so from there, we sat and talked and talked and talked. And the 3 girls, we got on the plane that night, and we were like going, the only one we really liked, we didn't like any of the managers, we didn't like any of the PR, but we loved the attorney. So we took him as our representation, which was one of the smartest things. Instead of having 3 different agents and, you know, we had one person working for us, he called up Pepsi. And he says, you don't mind if I call over there? I go, no. So he calls up Pepsi, and he says, I want to have this meeting. And he gets at Pepsi, and they have a contract ready for us. So what we did is we created our own career, in a sense. And I don't even know how that happened. It was just like something
What was your intent when you originally started to do this? You know, was that your whole intent was to do this, or were you just kind of trying to form a trio?
Just trying to get some miles out of it, and never knowing that we would get a contract that would be a 3-year contract, you know, and $1 million later each.
So was the contract, was that still with Ray Charles while you were doing this, or did you just kind of branch off on your own?
It was branching off on our own. We ended up becoming spokeswomen for Pepsi, and we toured United States, all of United States, 4 or 5 places a week. For 3 years straight. We signed a contract for doing 15 more commercials. We signed a contract for doing POP and you know, the stand-up things and all of that, and that was just the beginning of it.
So you got every last mile you could out of that.
We got a lot of miles out of it.
Yeah.
And then it was supposed to go into a recording contract, but didn't work out. And from there, I ended up doing my own I did a TV show called Robin's Hoods with Aaron Spelling.
Right. I want to talk about that in a minute as well. But did you ever tell the other 2 girls that you had no idea what you were doing when you first started this thing off? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Afterwards.
Or do they still think you had this big master plan? That
no, that was chance.
Yeah.
That was, you know, that was divine. That was God.
Is that living out? I mean, obviously we live on the East Coast, and life is totally different in this part of the world than it is out there. You know, we hear about the stories out there of kind of a cutthroat business where it's, you know, you might be famous today, but tomorrow you might not. You know, you're not going to be. You know, like the whole Darva Conger thing going on right now with that.
What is up with that? Anyway, that's
she's riding that thing for as much as she could too. But I mean, is that what life is really like in this business? Is it kind of really cutthroat? And
you know what? There is a part. I have to admit, there is a part of it that is. I mean, you're only as good as your last project. It doesn't matter what your history is, anything. And you can be hot and cold. And I just had a baby, so it's like when I get back, I'm just bam, back into work. And I actually have, since the baby, I've done 2 jobs. But it's just part of this whole business. It is a cutthroat thing. It's everyone has a script. Everybody wants to be an actor, you know. But I think if you really have the passion for it and the heart and the desire, I think you can do everything. I mean, I think the reason I worked so much in the beginning and just like everything happened is because I didn't believe I couldn't. This is what I want to do, so this is what I did. And I think you just really need a positive attitude and
there's probably a lot of people out there who are out there, you know, wanting the whole fame thing, but not really necessarily work as hard for it as it takes.
You gotta be artistic. You gotta go for the art if you really want to do it. Like if Savoy wants to be an actress because like I said, it's inside of your soul and your heart and your desire. I can talk, can I?
No, you're doing a great job. This is great.
There's so many things. I can go on forever.
I've only had to ask 4 questions.
And you bring Denise out here, we can both go on forever.
We don't want to relive those days. We'll leave the high school days behind us right now.
Yes.
Well, we're not done. Don't start wrapping this up on me now.
I got lots to say.
So tell me about how you met your husband and what he does for a living as well.
Oh my God. He's an actor and a screenwriter, and we were in acting class together. And we do something called the Meisner technique, where we do repetition like I'm looking at you. And beautiful eyes. And you repeat the words back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, you're just kidding. I
No,
thought
I'm not. I'm not. I just said what's in my, that's true. A great smile.
Yes.
And then you repeat smile, smile back and forth. So anyway, you expose yourself to the truth on stage. And so I got to know him, but he's like the bad guy rebel. He's like the best, when you see these great shows and stuff, he's like the best murderer, rapist, you know, anything.
He's just evil characters and everything.
He is the best evil guy, but he also has heart, and that's what makes a good evil guy. And we knew each other for 2.5 years. And I would have never thought. He's from Texas. He's like real scrubby kind of, you know. And I'm like, I wear black. I'm shishi. No. But I am a little shishi. I'm girly. And we're just complete opposites. And one day.
Was it in this acting class that you met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I knew him for like 2.5 years, but never. Only thing I said to him was, "Hi, Blake." If he'd say, "Hi, Gretchen." That was it. Swear to God.
That's all it takes,
so that was
I guess.
a little flirting.
Yeah.
And then one day he said, "I'm taking you to the House of Blues." He didn't ask me. He just said, "Hi, honey, I'm talking about you." and he said he was taking me. And I was like, oh, God, he's going to ruin my acting class. Ugh. And he said, well, give me your number. So I gave him my number. And I said, you know, when he calls, I'm just going to cancel on him. And I said to him, we talked for about an hour one night, and I said, can I have your number? And he goes, no. He goes, if I give you my number, you're going to cancel on me. And I was like going, no, I'm not, which I was exactly going to do that. And we went out, and it was like, bam.
Yeah.
It was so easy. And, I mean, honey, what is the thing we say? We're got everything in common, but nothing alike?
We have everything in common, but we're nothing alike.
We have everything in common, but we're nothing alike. And it's the truth. It's like we both like to antique, and you know, I mean, we both come from as kids going to camps, and we're very traditional family-wise. And he was a player. So I mean, I would not. I'm sorry, honey. Would not expect him to be a family man, but he's the best dad, and he's the best. You know, I totally trust him, because in Hollywood you can't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Especially the guys.
That's
Because
right.
there's so many women. There's so many gorgeous, gorgeous women out there. And so we got married 6 months later.
Wow.
That's it. And then a year and 4 months later, had a baby girl.
Wow. And you're both currently living out there.
Yep.
You reside out there. And you said he is an actor and writer.
Actor and a screenwriter. Wonderful,
screenwriter.
wonderful writer.
Wonderful
actor.
What has Blake been a part of?
Oh, goodness.
Should we have him come in now and switch
I
the
know,
interview
really.
over?
Come on, Ray.
You do more than I'll ever talk.
He did this. He did a great. He did this lead in this movie. I don't know if someone's got to have it out here. It's called Head of the Family. He is so great in this movie.
Is this an evil character that you mentioned before?
Actually, no, but what do you call that character? He's the lead. He's a romantic lead that's just charming, but trying to win over everybody. He's got actually on the 26th of July, he's going to be on is it TNT or TNN? On a show called 18 Wheels of Justice, and he has cornrows in his hair, and he plays a really bad convict.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's going to be July what?
July 26th.
July 26th on TNT?
Or TNN.
Well, TNN is the country music thing there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's probably TNT. TNT is like the Turner. Okay, well, here comes Blake now.
He just cut his hair. His hair was really long.
I'm getting waved in.
Yeah.
This is Blake.
This is.
I didn't come in. I knew I wouldn't get any words in edgewise.
Does this mean you're gonna?
This is my honey.
Well, this is Blake Adams. This is Gretchen's husband. That's a great, perfect stage name, though. Blake Adams.
Well, my real name is even better. So.
What's that?
Should we scoop more together so we
Blake
can be all in?
Adams Bailey. So I could
Oh, yeah.
either way.
Blake Bailey, B&B.
Wow, that
I
is
had more screen names than I knew what to do with.
Yeah, because well, Gretchen Palmer. I mean, that's the love boat girl we know, but I guess that fits pretty well out in Hollywood too. For
You see, I was
stage
moving
name.
to get my light.
I
You
know.
see that?
I was in her light.
I actually got out of here.
I went like this.
I'm like this.
This is-
Catch a